Hey everybody, it's Jay Haskamp again, and I'd like to welcome you back to another one of our Frontier Precision Tech Talk videos. In this particular video, we're going to take a look at just a few quick little ways you can either use some Kogo or some key-in routines to make some lines and different objects, and how we can quickly and efficiently, I guess, just create these objects and stake them out in the field. So I just have a little bit of a survey started here. It's just a GPS survey. Have just some random points in here, but I'm going to show you a couple different quick little things we can do. First one is just making some arcs. So the first thing we would do here, let's say we have 3 points. We want to basically create an arc and stake said arc off of 3 points. Very easy process. So we grab point number 12 here, and then say 15 and point number 8. So we have them all 3 selected on the screen. And it's just a simple tap and hold and key in arc, and we can give it a name if we want. We can give it a code, and you can see our method already defaults to 3 points. There's some other methods in here. We'll look at a couple of them, but everything is filled in. If we want to stake out along that arc at an interval, we can say put 25 feet. And notice now when we enter a value in, it actually kind of gives us a preview on the screen, so we can kind of double check and make sure that's what we want to see there. And then if I want, I can add in have it calculate the radius point or the center point of that arc. So pretty quick and easy. If I hit enter, calculate, it kind of gives me my my details here, and hit store. And now you can see I have my arc on my screen, and it also entered in little 0.500 there for our center point. So if I want to now double click on my screen, I can deselect, grab this arc, hit stake out. Say station on arc, 2 meter antenna height. Let's go to station 25. It gives me a little preview on the screen right where I've got to go there. So I'm just using my emulator here so I can just move right there. But if I hit start, you can kind of see then as I move, I'll move away. You can see how as I kind of start walking, it tells me, okay, you got to go this direction on the screen. And then I also see a quick little zoom in on the screen on the right. So as I move around, you'll see those things kind of change on me. So you can see as I'm moving around, it's kind of directing me and telling me where to go. And again, this is just a little emulator trick. I'm going to move there, and I can measure and stake. So that's 3-point arc, storing the center point. So if I want to stake that center point out, that's easy enough too. All I do is I got to just grab that point on the screen, hit stake out, tells me where to go. Easy enough. So I can again tap and hold just to move my my little virtual survey guy over there, and you can again see on the screen my directions and so on. So quick and easy. Next one I'm going to show you is basically creating an arc using a 2 points and a center point, right? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete this arc just to get it off the screen, just so we're not all muddied up here. But I'm going to leave that center point on. So let's say I need to compute an arc, and I have 2 points and I also have the center point. So what I can do is I'm just going to go to key in and arcs, and under my method here, I'm going to choose not 2 points in radius. We'll do that one next. I'm going to choose 2 points and center point. Okay, and I have the ability to do left or right here, which is kind of sweet. So one thing that's cool about Trimble Access is it allows you to kind of preview everything with this split screen. You can kind of see what you're making on the map before you store anything, and you know, go left when you should have gone right, that type of thing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick my start point of 12. I'm going to pick my end point of 8. And if I want to make that same arc, I'm going to use my center point of 500. And now notice it shows up that exact same arc passing through 15. But I can also go back and switch this to left, and I can get my arc on the other side. So I haven't created or stored anything yet. I don't have to guess, you know, on which direction or order. I can just pick it right from the screen. And again, I can put in a staking interval and a station if I want. Calculate it, store it, close the key in part down, and again, I can grab my arc, stake it out, and hit start. I'm at 0. I can do station plus every 25 feet, and so on and so forth. So easy enough. Notice that I've passed the end of the arc. Let me see if I can zoom in and show you that here. I was using station plus and station minus, and I hit station plus. It says, hey, you're past the end of the arc. Do you want to keep going? Well, sure I do. So I don't even have to be on that arc. I can still keep projecting that circle all the way around at 25-foot intervals, which is pretty cool as well. Okay, So that's another method of staking out a arc, and we'll just delete that guy just to keep the screen nice and clean. All right, the next method would be, maybe I don't have a radius point, but I have a distance. Okay, so again, key in arcs, and this time instead of 2 points and center point, I'm going to pick 2 points and radius. And again, you can see I have my left and right. And now for my inputs, I basically have a start point, an end point, and a desired radius. So maybe I'm going to put in point 15 here, and I'm going to put an end point in of 8 here. And now the cool thing about this is the radius, I can key it in. I can specify a distance based on 2 points. So as an example, if I want the radius point to be 0.500, what I can do is, if I know my arc starts at 15 and I want 500 to be my radius, I can key in 15-500, hit tab, and it already knows that since these points are in the database, that's my distance, and I get my arc. It automatically puts it in. I can also use a radius off of any 2 points. So if I know that I want my radius for whatever reason to be the distance from say point number 7 to point number 6, all that information can be easily computed. So 7-6, and now I have a 42.026 foot radius. I can key it in, maybe I want 20 and so on. Oops, 20 is a little too small, so let's go 30. And there we go. I can also again do left and right and so on. So there's a lot of really cool stuff here. I'm not going to keep doing the stakeout. You kind of see what that looks like, but I can put an interval, and again I can also store the center point of that arc. So again, keying in arcs is pretty easy. There's a couple other options there I didn't go through. I invite you to kind of dabble and have a little fun and see if you can figure out different ways to do it, but there's a lot of cool little features there for making arcs. And the big thing for me is being able to see it all on the screen and knowing what I'm computing before I store anything. So I'm going to just abandon that. Now let's move on to lines. There's a couple other quick little things we can do with just keying in lines. A lot of times this comes up real quick if you're doing parcels or just trying to find a line between two objects, a fence line or whatever. Simple line between 2 points is really easy. I'm just going to pick, again, I keep forgetting my pointer here. I'm going to pick my, say, point 12 and point 5 on the screen. And if I tap and hold, I can hit stake out line, and it says, okay, let's stake out a line between those 2 points. I can do station on the line, I can stake to the line, station, offset, slope. I got all my standard staking options here. So if I do station on line, okay, and we'll start at 0. I don't know how far that distance is. We'll just do, say, a 15-foot interval, and we'll hit start. And now I'm at the beginning. Okay, I'm just going to move this over a little bit here. And you can see then I can just do station plus, move every 10 feet down the line. It's telling me where I need to go, south and east if I'm using GPS, left relative to the line, forward relative to the line. Oops, I can change my design elevation and so on. So the cool thing about this is that I can keep going, and I say, okay, stake the end, no, we want to keep going, and I can keep pushing that line, basically extending it out further and further. So that's staking to line just by picking 2 points on the map screen, which is pretty slick. Deselect. The other one would be, say you have a line and you need to just stake it by an azimuth and a distance. So I'm going to go here and key in my line, okay? And then I'm going to do, instead of 2 points, I'm going to do bearing and distance from a point. So let's say we want to start at point number 7, right here. Sorry, point number 7. In an azimuth, I can key it in, so I can say 45 degrees and a length of 100 feet if I want, okay? Otherwise, I can do an azimuth. I want it to come from point 7, but I want it to be on an azimuth from, say, 2 to 13. I can go 2-13, and now this azimuth between these points is being replicated here, and I want my distance to be 1 to 2. And you can see, so I can use any of these points in my database to determine an azimuth and a distance. And then I can also put in a grade if I wanted to. So let's say this is supposed to be at a slope of 25. Let's go, maybe it's a ditch or something, -25, and then I can say I want it to be percent, and then station and so on. So then I can create that line, stake it out. Again, relatively easy. The power here is just seeing it on the screen and being able to use points in the database to dictate your azimuths and lengths and so on. So that's line by azimuth and distance. And then the last one I want to show, we can do 2 different ways. Maybe it's a situation where we have a line, and we want to stake a point at a specified angle. Let's just say 90 degrees for this example. We want to stake a point 90 degrees off of the line at a certain distance. So what we can do is we can go to Kogo, and we haven't even scratched the surface on Kogo. We haven't looked in here yet, but there's a whole pile of different ways we can compute things through Kogo. But compute point is just saying, okay, let's use coordinate geometry to create a point here. And for this one, I'm just going to do a turned angle and distance. Okay, so my start point and my end point are going to define my reference line. My turned angle is going to be what angle off of said reference line do I want it to be, and my horizontal distance. So as an example, if I wanted to do a line from point 12, pick my pointer, point 12 to point 13, you can see I kind of determining my my line here. And now a turned angle, I can do many things. I can key it in. I can again use points in the database to compute an angle, but I'm just going to do a negative 90 because I'm going from 12 to 13, so negative is turning left, positive is turning right, so negative 90. You can see now that that pops up on the screen. If I did a positive 90, you can see now it goes down there. So I can do either or. And then a horizontal distance, I can key it in, or I can do the distance between 2 points. So if I wanted to kind of mirror point 14's distance over here, I could put negative back in, and horizontal distance I could do 13-14, and vertical distance will leave at 0, and I hit calculate, and now I've got basically a nice rectangle here. I can store that, and now it's in my database. If I want, I can escape, grab that guy, stake it out, and boom, we have our point. Easy enough. Another way, there's a bunch of different things. We're gonna dive into Kogo a little deeper in other videos, but another cool trick here that a lot of people don't use. This is handy, especially if you're doing you're laying out a building and maybe you have a blueprint or construction plans of a building and it's all 90-degree angles. We can use a tool called tape distances, which allows us to basically establish a baseline to begin, and then we can basically just turn 90 degrees and put in distances to lay out a building or a structure or something like that. So I'll show you tape distances here real quick. So I'm going to go to my menu, I'm going to go to Kogo, and down on the bottom we're picking tape distances, and now you need to define a line. So let's say we're going to go from point 13 to 12, so we want to compute points starting off of 12. So where we want to begin with our points is going to be our end point. So we're going to do point 13, keep forgetting my pointer here, point 13 to point 12. It wants an elevation. If it doesn't matter, you can just put something in. I'm going to put 1200 in, and now you can see I've established a reference line between those 2 points. And I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here, and you see this red line on the screen, this dotted line. So that's the direction now that I want to compute my next point. So I can tap over here, up here, over there, over there. I can use keys on my keypad to move that line around, but it's all going to be at 90. So maybe I want to go this way, and I want to go 10 feet, enter, this way, whoops, add, sorry. This way, I want to go another 10 feet, add. Now I want to go back down. Now I want to do 8 feet, add. Come back this way and do 25 feet, add, and so on. So I'm basically just turning 90s at distances, and I can create all this stuff. Now the cool thing is once I store all this, and I'm back in my main map screen, not only do I have points at all these nodes that I can stake out, these are also now established lines that I can also stake out the line as well. So tape distances is very cool for laying things out. All right, so that's the end of this video. Just some really quick and easy stuff. Just kind of want to throw some stuff out here in little snippets, and we'll work through some of this stuff as we make more videos. But again, just as we're getting into field work and staking things in these climates of ours that are starting to finally warm up for us, we thought it'd be kind of cool to just throw out some neat little functions and features for laying things and staking things out. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you found the information here beneficial, and we'll see you in the next video.